If you want your rhythm guitar parts to sound better, try this simple exercise. Choose 2 chords, then set up the tonal center, and then try to move these 2 chords all around the neck. Let me show you what I mean. Now, for this example, I'm picking 2 major chords, D major and G major. Now, I'm gonna make my tonal center the key of D. This means that D major is gonna be the 1 chord, and G major is gonna be the 4 chord. What we want here is to create movement over the 1 chord by going from D major to D sus4 to D sus2. Then when going to that 4 chord G major, I want to try to find the closest voicing that I can to the last chord that I play. For now, I'm just going to go to the open chord. But the idea is going to be to play all the inversions all over the fretboard, right? So let's start by creating a main groove. We're going to play our exercise on top of this track. So really fast, let me show you what I'm playing over these 2 guitars. Guitar 1 is an arpeggiated guitar going like this. Open D sus4 to D major, and then for G major, I'm just playing the top 4 strings. 3rd fret on the E and B string, and then open D and G. I have those chord tones of G major. Then I'm going from D major to D sus2, and then to finish, I'm playing this time the open B, right? It's again a chord tone of G major, and I'm going like this. And at the end, I'm playing an open E string. Now, E over G is a little bit of a tension here, right? But I like it. We're playing over major chords. It's nice to add a little bit of tension. Sometimes major chords are too happy. Now, for the second guitar, I'm just playing power chords apart from the second repetition over the D chord, right? I'm going from D5 to G5. And when that D major and D sus2 are coming, I'm going to F sharp, right? That's the 3rd of D, and A, that's the 5th of D, right? If you think about it, D major is here, and on the melody, I have that major 3rd, right? If I bring that note 2 octaves higher, I can go to that 2nd fret of the low E string. It's still the major 3rd of D, right? And then the open A string is the 5th of D. So I actually have a first inversion D major triad here on the 6th, 5th, and 4th string. All I'm doing is playing just the 6th string and the 5th string. So I have the 3rd of D and the 5th of D. So at the end I have this. And again, that gives me a little bit of tension over major chords, because at the end I have this sound. Right? I have that major 3rd on the bass, and I have that 9th on the melody. There's an interval of a whole step between those 2 notes. Nice tension. Now, before we get into this exercise, let's try to analyze how do we create suspended chords, right? I'm gonna go to this root position D major triad on the top 3 strings. It's a nice triad because visually it makes a lot of sense. I have the root, the 3rd on the middle, and the 5th on the melody. If I bring that major 3rd half step up, and I'm replacing it for the 4th, I have a D sus4 here. I go back to D major, and now I need to go a whole step down, because a half step down is the minor 3rd. That will be D minor, and a half step down will be D sus2. So there is a nice chromatic line between D sus2, D minor, D major, and D sus4. So in order for this to really work, you need to find your inversions all over the fretboard and know where your major 3rd is. Whenever you find that major 3rd, you can always go half step up to that sus4 and a whole step down to that sus2. Now let's go back to our exercise and try to play those inversions in different sets of strings. Let's start on the top 3 strings. The first thing we want to do is find those major triads before we go to the suspended chords, right? So we're going from D to G, and we're going to start by finding D major triads on strings 1, 2, and 3. D major, 2nd inversion to D major, root position to D major, 1st inversion. For G, I'm going to go G major, 1st inversion to G major, 2nd inversion to G major, root position. So now let's try to create movement over that one chord, right? I'm gonna go from D sus4 to D major to D sus2, and then when I go to the 4 chord, I'm gonna try to find the closest triad to my voicing, right? Now, my first guitar, remember, is playing around this area of the guitar. So I'm gonna try to avoid this area, right? Because there's always a guitar in the back playing around this part. So what I'm gonna do is bring this D major triad all the way up here. Same triad, just one octave higher. So here I'm gonna go from D sus4 to D major to D sus2 to the closest G major. I can go up to this one, or I can go down to this one, right? Next inversion, I got D sus4 to D major to D sus2. Now I'm going to try to find the closest G major. I can go up to this one, or I can go down to this one. And then the last inversion, I got D sus4 to D sus2 to the closest G major. I can go up to this one, or down to this one. Now let's do the same on strings 2, 3, and 4. Let's start by playing the major triads first. I got D major, first inversion, to D major, second inversion, to D major, root position. From here I'm gonna go to G major, root position, G major, first inversion, and G major, second inversion. Let's apply the same concept as before. We're going to add movement over the one chord by going from D sus4 to D major to D sus2, and then finding the closest G major. So I'm going to start with this inversion. D sus4 to D major to D sus2. And my closest G major is this root position one. Next inversion, D sus4 to D major to D sus2. And my closest D major going up is this one, and going down is this one. And the last inversion, D sus4 to D major to D sus2. And my closest G major is this second inversion, or going down this first inversion G major. Now again, with these ideas, I create a musical example out of it. This is how it sounds. And to finish, let's go to strings 3, 4, and 5. Let's play those major triads first. I have D major, root position, to D major, first inversion, to D major, second inversion. And for G, I have G, second inversion, G major, root position, and G major, first inversion. Again, the concept, let's add movement over the one chord by playing D sus4 to D major to D sus2 and try to find the closest G major. So I'm going to start with this inversion. D sus4 to D major to D sus2. And I'm going to go to my closest G major. Next inversion, D sus4 to D major to D sus2. And I'm going to go to my closest G major. If I go up, I go to this one, root position, and if I go down, I go to this one, second inversion. And the last one, D sus4 to D major to D sus2. And I'm going to go to my closest G major. If I go up, I'm going to go to this one, first inversion, and if I go down, I'm going to go to this one, root position. This example sounds like this. Now, I didn't go to strings 4, 5, and 6 because they are too low. They're going to be clashing again those power chords. But if you want to try to create a guitar part, let me at least give you the major triads, right? I'm going to have D major here, second inversion, to D major root position, to D major first inversion. Then I'm going to have G major first inversion, to G major second inversion, to G major root position. Now you can create the sus chords out of this, right? So, give it a try. I think suspended chords still a really simple way to add movement over your major and minor triads. They are still 3-note chords, so they're relatively simple to play. You can definitely add more tension by adding more notes like the major 7 or the minor 7. But this is a really simple way to get outside of that major and minor triad sound, using just 3 notes still, right? So give it a try. Have a good one. Bye bye.